Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all so much for stopping by this morning. I appreciate it. Shout out to the NTZ crew. I know you're going to be on here. Jacob Chanje, Michael Beach of Life. That's Beach of Life. Thank you, man, for stopping by today. All my fourth quarter members, I love LaShawn ISG Horn. What's up, Roger Walker, Raymond, Paragraphics. Hell, everybody's in the house. Jeffrey Tatter. All my old heads. Sunshine Fan, Mr. Dockers, W Secrets to Success. Been a while, man. What you been doing? What's up, Obi-Wan Denobi? All the new viewers and subscribers watching today. Welcome. What's up, Gregory? Alan, yeah, thank y'all. And everybody catching this on replay. Kamar. It's hotter than fish grease. He said, how's the weather? But I love the hot weather. What's up, Jacob? Michael Alexander. I hope this is the real Michael Alexander because I think the last time Michael Alexander was on here, there was an imposter. I believe somebody had taken over your profile picture or something, man. Because you was talking 10 karat crazy. But that's your right. But the peso is 61.35 when this started. It almost reached 62. I thought it was. It was 61.8 yesterday. I thought for sure, man, it was going to hit 62. It eventually will, as long as this war keeps going on. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Remember this old Project Freedom with a $720 million short bet against oil prices was made 15 minutes before Trump announced that Project Freedom. Now he pauses the Project Freedom and declares great progress. Oil prices fell by $2.30, below $100 for the first time in a while. But the White House did not immediately reply to a request for comment on what progress had been made or how long the pause would last, guys. These people are playing in our face. They think we're stupid. This is insider trading. Any way you look at it, they got that sergeant. They need to get everybody else. What's up? Yeah, it's 61.35. What's up, John? But the war's on again, and you're going to be paying higher prices, like you already are. Everything's went up over here. I'm not complaining. I was just telling y'all the truth. But you know, we always have a topic. Today's topic is Southeast Asia, and I messed up on that. I didn't even put the I on there. In Southeast Asia, the safest place for tourists and retirees. Okay? Let's talk about that. And remember, all this is subjective. And we're going to talk about whether you feel safe, and then the objective, you know, the statistics and all of that. Because I said something yesterday, it got people all, you know, crazy. I just said that I feel safer over here than I've ever felt anywhere else. The guy, Big Trucker Series, he made a video about another American that got killed over in Colombia. And he said it on his video, and it struck a chord with me. I was like, yeah, he's right. He said when he's in Southeast Asia, that's where he feels the safest. He says, for those that live in the Philippines, you should hedge, meaning buy more pesos and hold the pesos. I just bought a good amount of pesos. It's going to go higher. No need to keep going to the ATM. Oh, you mean, yeah, buying more pesos now? Yeah, yeah. Especially if you're gonna use it, because if you hold on to it, it's eventually gonna go down. Because this guy says um, that the war is over. That's what you believe. They say that, man, so that they don't have to go in front of Congress. Come on, guys, you're not stupid for real. Yeah, but you gotta understand, Alan, that oil is traded on the global market. Okay, that's why we're still paying more, even though we're producing more oil than anybody else. It's traded on the global market. Okay, it's not that simple. And this is the propaganda. They don't tell you the whole story. He wants to make you think that we don't need the Strait of Hormuz open. Crazy. We need that open. It was open before he uh, started the war. But anyway, you know, I did go ahead and release that video about she doesn't love you, she hates you. And I knew people were going to go crazy over that. The cold, hard truth, people just don't want to hear it, man. But remember, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm not talking about every woman. But one thing that every guy who gets scammed over here has in common, he met a no good woman on that dating site. I'm not just talking about the Philippines. I'm talking about Southeast Asia. And then some guy puts in there, oh, so do you know, um, so do you believe that Maryland loves you? Well, here's the thing. You'll never know if someone really loves you. My definition of love and her definition of love is different. I'm going to ask you the question. Does her actions and behavior satisfy your definition? If it does, then keep going. Okay? Don't worry about it. But there lies the trick. They're going to do everything that you think a woman who loves you would do. Okay? Trust is what's important to me. Okay? What's this? Huh? Here, yeah, put it in there. That's what it's all about. Can I trust Maryland? Absolutely, I can. I can't expect any more than that, though. But I just try to, my videos, listen, all of them are to start a conversation, to get people to talking. But number one is to get us to pause just for a split second, guys, because we only have one gear over here. We talked about this already. And it's full speed ahead. We're operating with no brakes over here. You can't pace yourself, man. The life that you're putting out there with this woman is unsustainable. You're going to go broke. You're going to get sick or something. You're going to die, man. This is what I'm wanting you to do. It's to slow down a little bit. We're not. That's all these videos. They're not to offend anybody, but it's 100% facts. The woman that's laying next to you telling you she loves you and all that, man, it's all an act to get out of you what she can, a better life. Why in the world would she love you? No 25-year-old woman gonna love an old crusty ass 70-year-old man wearing diapers and all that stuff, man. But the thing is, y'all don't want to hear the truth. So you want to hear this golf guy era stuff, this sugar-coated bullshit that you're getting off these other channels. So when somebody just says what's actually in your face, you push back. Because they're very good at selling these old fucked up relationships as normal. There's nothing normal about a 22-year-old woman and a 55-year-old man. There's nothing normal about that. He said, Cal, my women is different. I know. You know, we asking these women to do things they would never, ever even think of doing. Certainly nothing that a man over here in Southeast Asia would ask them to do. And she don't like that for real. Deep down inside, she hates your ass. Because every time she sees you, it's a reminder of the card she was dealt. It's unfair. Yeah, life is unfair. But it's not all on the woman. This is why I'm talking to you. If love is a business, then you got to have a business plan. What are you after anyways? If you're getting what you're after, then don't complain. Keep scrolling. But the fact that they're great actresses over here is the reason y'all push back. But I didn't say, tell me where I was wrong. Okay? Yeah, she really hates you. Just shut up and pay the bills. Okay, you'll see. Be around them long enough, you'll see. You don't want your input on nothing. You pay the bills. Okay, I'm sorry. And keep it moving. But remember, we can talk about anything y'all want to talk about. But safety, you know, the definition of safety is the condition of being protected from or unlikely to cause danger, risk, or injury. And you know, when people say, well, I feel safe, people say, well, your feelings aren't facts. And they're talking about, you know, the objective measures, you know, crime rates and the risk that you actually are facing. But there is something to that. You know, it says feeling safe refers to the emotional state of being secure and free from fear, which can be influenced by personal experiences, which is what I was talking about, and perception. Okay, that's all it is. I feel safer here versus in America. And I was saying in Southeast Asia the safest because from what I've seen, people over here are more reserved. People in the West, man, we're too emotional. This is the whole problem. We're too emotional. Last night, we were sitting here, and Marilyn had just got out of the shower. She's putting, you know, doing her hair, drying her hair and everything. Well, I had it on Abby Phillips. You know, I like to watch these debates. And, man, Marilyn couldn't believe it. She was like, cut that off. I can't stand it. You know, they going back and forth, basically fighting on TV. See, they're not used to that. They don't operate like that over here. There's no shows like that over here. I mean, people are getting hot, man. You know, trying to get their point across. They were either for or against the war. And, you know, you're either pro-Trump or, and they don't do that over here, guys. And that kind of stuff in the real world leads to fights. How many road rage murders and stuff, okay, that you've seen over there, all from emotion. People start, you know, let the police do something in America. People start rioting off emotion. 2 weeks later, they act like it never happened. He said, I felt absolutely safe living amongst the locals in Bond, which is outside Butuan City in Mindanao. Well, you know, one of the things they say that, you know, like I said, it's perception and personal experience. But they talk about community bonding. Remember when I made the remark, I said, you know, I've got a relationship with the locals here. I always have. You know, I give back. I don't even need a burglar alarm. When I'm gone, they'll look out for me. Well, it says right here, let me read it. Okay, wait, where is that? Let's see. Yeah, here. Community bonding, it says engaged and connected communities are more vigilant and look out for each other. Well, that's what happens to me here. You know, so I feel safe. You know, the environment and everything. But that's what feeling safe. Now, being safe, being actually safe is different. It says it's a a factual condition, often defined by objective factors such as the absence of harm or danger, which can be assessed through the observation and experience, like the crime rate, infrastructure, health conditions. And when you talk about Southeast Asia, you remember you have to talk about more than just crime. You got to talk about these volcanoes. Hell, that Mayon volcano done displaced what was it? 500,000 people already up there in Luzon in the Bico region. That thing blew its top. People's houses and people are covered in ash. Then they just had a 6.0 earthquake in eastern Samoa. Of course, the typhoons, all the other shit that goes on over here. He says, sounds like 8,000 miles makes us like Bill Belichick. Well, I don't understand what you mean. Yeah, she respects that Filipino man who can read her as foreign as we can't, man. We don't know what's going on behind those eyes and that smile. The Filipino man knows it, man. Come over here. If you over here, you see it. If you want to see it, how they treat Filipino men versus the way they treat you. They scared to death of the Filipino men. They respect them to the utmost. They don't respect you, man. They'll pretend that they do. Keep paying the bills. Break up with them. Then you're going to see the woman you're really dealing with, because you're not going to know as long as you're paying the bills. I told you they got 5 years. He done built a house. Was getting ready to build another house. Huh? Now it's over. He done wasted 5 years. And the family says he'll go on somewhere. And that's what I told him. I said, man, you need to move on. I said, because pretty soon they're going to bring charges against you, dude. Okay, they're going to bring charges against you. Just count your losses, man, and keep going. But just imagine how he feels. Because you think you know people, man. You don't know them, man. They're great actresses, man. They're great actresses. But as long as her actions and behaviors fit your definition of love, then keep it rolling. Don't push back on me. He said, big bro, that's not only true for those abnormal expat relationships. It's true in many relationships in America. Some wives hate their husbands. I'm not just projecting. Yeah, but they hate them for different reasons. Like, well, I married this loser. And now I'm stuck here, I don't earn enough money to get out of here. He's drinking, he's smoking, gambling, or whatever it is. And a lot of them feel stuck. But over here, it's a different. You're a constant reminder. These women are like anybody else. They want jobs. They want their own jobs. They want to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. They don't want to have to sleep and live with some old-ass foreigner or some nasty-ass foreigner to get that done. That's not the right way in their eyes. Okay? That's all I'm saying. They know right from wrong. Hey, thank you, man. Somebody hit that like button with him. He said, yeah, safety is all about not getting run over by a vehicle. Yeah, safety, it says, encompasses both subjective feelings and objective conditions. But nothing's guaranteed. That's why when people say, oh, it's safe over there, I'll say, well, it's safe for me. Because I don't know you. I don't know who you're going to hang out with, where you're going. Some of you guys are down there in Mindanao. I mean, you're really in red zones, but you fall in the woman. And nothing I say or anybody say is going to swerve you from that because you feel safe. It's influenced by your personal experiences and your perception. It doesn't matter to you what's on the Department of State website. I don't know. Do you smoke? Do you drink? What are you gonna be doing over here? So I say it's safe. It's safe for me. And I've been all around. It's just based on not the risk, the actual risk here. You know, every place has a crime rate. Of course, it's higher in Quezon City. It's the highest in the Philippines, higher than Metro. You know, than the city of Manila. And as you come down to places like San Carlos City, it's much lower. But when you go to these urban cities, there's going to be two crime rates, really, one for foreigners and one for locals. The one for locals are higher because normally the victim and the perpetrator know each other. They're in close proximity to each other. People ain't that bold, man. Y'all been watching too much television. I was watching the other day, they showed, they was talking about the, uh, when that guy, what's that, XXX Tation or whatever his name was, when he got killed. They were talking about that court case. And these guys, they were riding around looking for somebody to rob, and they saw him. They recognized him and that car he drives. That's why they robbed him. They were familiar with him. Hey, what's up, Henderson? He said, hello from the 502. He said, hope the sun shines on you today, fam. Yeah, man, it's hot out there. He says, same rules apply. Nothing positive happens anywhere when you're in a club or bar after 12 a.m. Yeah, see, we can do some stuff too. I don't go out. I don't drink. I don't be around people that drink to get drunk. Remember I told y'all about the guy who was here, only here to pick up the niece and nephew of his wife and take them back to America. Stop to have a beer at the local establishments. I want to say July, which is maybe an hour and a half from here, to get a cold one. The guys were drunk. They asked him to buy him a beer. He said no, and so then they started talking about him in their language. He recognized it because he could understand their language. Confronts him, and they shoot him in the head with an old rusty 38. See, he could have avoided all of that. Here, man, here's 120 pesos. Buy you 3 beers. I'm out of here. My life is more than that. You can't win over here. Yeah, the rusty 38. Yeah, rest in peace, you know. And now one of the guys got released. He turned state's witness and told on the rest of them. He got out in 2023. This young guy was 20. His career was just starting out, man. And they killed him. $50,000 he had in his Louis Vuitton bag, a Gucci bag, whatever it was. Now, after they kill him, they go on social media flexing the money. Oh, man. How crazy can that be? How crazy can that be? Yeah, you got to do some things to keep yourself safe. But for the most part, man, I've been to South America. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Europe. I live in America. Southeast Asia, for me as a black man, let me be honest, it's much safer for me here than it is anywhere else I've been. Okay, and that's subjective, remember? That's based on my personal experiences and my perception. There's a level of respect that people give me here that I don't get anywhere else. Before Sunshine Shoulders, before I lived in San Carlos City, okay, I'm just being honest with you. Hell, the millionaire, the black guy was a millionaire, went to Brazil and got killed the first damn night he was there. That Escapalamin. They killed the man. That shit ain't happening here, man. That shit ain't happening here, guys. You can argue all you want. And then people's in my comments, they say, yeah, you're right. I love it in Japan as a black man. They treat me real good. anywhere over in Asia because they're more reserved, man. They're not operating on emotion, man. We're too emotional. That's why people come at me. They don't even know me. Like, dude, calm down. He said, I actually went to Hong Kong and Macau, China for a couple of days to meet her. I felt very safe, but I moved differently because I knew I wasn't in America. Well, hell, what do you mean? I'm safer here than I am in America. They throw all black men in America in the same basket. If I don't have on my suit and tie, the women are crossing the street when they see me. People are locking their doors when I come up to cross the street. I don't even have a police record. Lady, I earn more money than you. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm afraid of you. But it's the perception. Right. This is facts right here. Drinking, drugging, and tricking will get you caught up in foreign countries. That's another reason I don't do the Angeles City and the walking streets. I'm afraid, man. I'm afraid you're dealing with a different type of person who does that for a living. She has to be a hardened individual. She's looking to take your money. So I don't do it. That's an easy one to avoid for me, to keep me safe. But I'm just saying, no matter what time of night I've been in the province, I've been in the deep, deep province. Nobody bothers me. So that's why I come out and say, hey, I've never felt this safe anywhere else. Or it's welcome. He says, I'm not into the bar scene. I stay out of shady areas. Yeah, man. And that'll keep you safe. Your odds go way down of getting into trouble. But remember, there's no solution for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sometimes that catches up with you. The young man from was it Canada or Australia? They got killed. Him and his girlfriend, they decided to do laundry at 1:30 in the morning in Quezon City. You can look this up. So they're on their way to the laundry, and they get confronted. You know, the man ain't had no more than $50 or something like that. They shot and killed him. Well, don't go to the man. Don't go to the. Didn't you just hear the man say nothing good happens after midnight? Don't go to the laundry at 1:30 in the morning. At 1:30 in the morning, I'm either asleep or I'm deep in something. What's up? What time's it, Travels? Yeah, he said the rapper Pop Smoke died that same way. And what messed him up was he shows the address where he was on the damn Instagram where he got the big pack of money. It could have been fake. We don't know because I don't even think they got the money. But they saw that and they went after him. He said that's because it depends on who we are as a person. I tell people how to treat us, really. I always feel like that in the Philippines. I just feel safe here, man. You know, you would think that the crime rate would be higher here. You know, based on, because one of the things they say that makes a place safe is the strong economic security. It says a strong local economy can decrease local crime rates and improve overall safety. You would think, you know, the way people struggle over here that there will be more robberies and stuff. It's really not. I mean, the people that get robbed are like these rich people. It's like, you know, the bad guys, they target certain people. You don't have enough money for them to target you and waste their time. But you would think there would be more crime over here, but it's not. Because this is one of the most religious countries in the world. They really believe it, and they're superstitious. You know, they really believe somebody's watching them. You know, he said everywhere is safe until it's not. Well, you can do some things that can lower your risk of being robbed. Same with, okay, how many times I got to tell you that most of these typhoons are up in central Luzon, eastern Visayas region. So if you're there, if you're living there, then guess what? It increases the risk of you facing one of them natural disasters. Okay, the longer you stay there, but you chasing the woman. Okay, you can't tell her, hey, let's move somewhere safer. Safer. Okay? Because if I'm dating a woman and she lives in Tacloban, Samar, one of those places, Billaron, no, we got to move somewhere else. Because I know it's just a matter of time it's going to hit me. Okay? Well, you know, that's all subjective. And who's making the list? He says, I keep hearing about New Zealand being one of the safest countries. You know, they always say that. Okay, it might be safe for certain people. You go there and see how safe it is. And tell us. I think it's a boots on the ground thing, myself. He says, I've been to 25 countries. Some of them were sketchy, but I didn't feel unsafe in the Philippines. It's just a feeling, man. It's annoying. I'm talking about from the first night I got here. They just didn't. Now I know I was being stupid, but they didn't come across as somebody that was trying to do me any harm. And you hear all the stories. Oh, they're gonna scam you. Man, they don't scam over here for real. The only scamming going on is in these relationships and on the dating sites. The real scams. Other than that, you may lose a couple of hundred, 1,000 pesos or something, and you'll live to see another day. It just did. I've never had that feeling. I'm talking about I've been into some of the most remote places, probably on the planet. Certainly in the Philippines, man. Never, ever did I get that feeling that I was in trouble. Even though I was facing big risks down in Zamboanga and the risk that my ex, her mother, was telling the truth a few times. She said, you know, it's not safe staying in these hotels here because, you know, the rebel tax. When them people come around to collect that money, they better have it. And 2 days later, it might have been the next day after she told me that, yeah, a pension house was blown up, 3 people dead. One was a foreigner. And that's where it came from. There was great risk there, but I just never put myself in that position. I lowered my risk. They said, yeah, good reference, Cal. The shooter, Boatwright, claimed XXX Temptation attempted to disarm him, but the 3 others disputed such. And Boatwright was a hater. Yeah, they could have took the man's money without killing him. I mean, if you got, I don't care how much money. I mean, this guy probably was a millionaire. He went to the bank and drew out 50,000. Look, guy, your life is worth. I'm never blaming the victim. Don't get me wrong now, but dude, your life is worth more than a chain and 50,000. Give them that and live to see another day, man. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, man. You take everything I got. Let me live, because I can get all that back again. He said, I was in Bacolod, walking from Park Inn to Laundromat. Just viewing the poverty can make us from USA feel unsafe. But that's our perception, yeah, not really reality. Right. It's a great point here. It's about perception. You think that just because you see that level of poverty, they're going to be trying to rob you and everything. That's not the case here. I told y'all before about, I was here in Cebu doing the Typhoon Odette, and right next to Horizon 101, it's a Honda dealership. Well, all the windows were blown out. I mean, this was a real, you know, level 5. Is that what they call it with typhoons? I mean, damn thing was the second highest on record. Well, nobody went in there and got a brand new motorcycle. All you had to do was go in there and you go. No, the locals, what they did, when I finally made it down, I walked past it because I'm trying to find a place where I could get some money. And I look and I see that all the windows are broken out. You just got row after row of motorcycles sitting there. Brand new motorcycles. Man, they had a field day in America. They didn't touch not one motorcycle. When I made it back, they were helping the person board up the windows. Okay? He says, in BGC right now, about to hit up my spot equivalent to Chipotle called Stuffed D. Very healthy. Folks need to check it out. Hey, thanks for that tip, because we'll be in Manila. We're going to take the kids right before they go to school. But I may have to come by BGC I'm not going to stay there. He said, yeah, my folks in the DR say the same thing, though, and that black man in Brazil was a stone cold simp. Rest in peace to him, but Elliot family members probably big to differ on. No, see, the thing with Elliot Eastman is, I keep telling you, Richard, over and over, and everybody else, they did not target him because he was a foreigner. He was there for a long, long time before that happened. I'm going by what the police reports are. It was a love thing, man. It was jealousy. Okay, they already told the family the bad guys don't wait. They don't wait. How many months? He had been there 15 months or something this time when they got him, but he had come there before. You know, I'm just telling you. I was in where he was versus where I was. I was in Zamboanga City in the red zone, okay? Even though they cleaned it up, I was in more danger than him, okay? Plus, we don't know what he was doing. You know, he was young, man. He probably, just didn't know how to deal with the locals. You got to show a certain level of respect that you want shown to you. I would have been quiet as a mouse, which I am. All the years I've been over here, man. I'm keeping a low profile. I'm not sticking my neck out there, man. I'm not arguing with locals, okay? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You can win the argument. Let me walk away. Okay? But no, right here, you don't know what you're talking about, man. And again, I'm not blaming the victim, but remember, these guys are following the women. There's no way he's supposed, if he felt, oh, look, because he was making videos, I feel in danger. Well, why didn't you move, man? Oh, I'm hiding from the kidnappers. Guys, don't put that shit out there in the universe. It'll come back. I told y'all Marilyn's friend, man. 2 days before she died, she sent Marilyn a crazy message. It said, here's how the anthropologists are going to find me when they're digging over here. And showed a skeleton in a grave with lipstick, because she was talking about how she loves to wear lipstick. 2 days later, she dead. So he's putting that stuff out there, knowing he's not telling the truth. They know exactly where he is, if they want him. But he said, oh yeah, they're going to come and get me, and I'm hiding and all that. Don't do that, guys. He should have got out of there. But we're following the woman. There's people right now watching me right now who live in Illinois, which is not far from where Elliot Eastman is, but they're following the woman. He's always going to be saved. You'll probably say the guy there now, and I met him in person. I met both of them in person. We ate dinner together in Dumagetti. Great people. but he's in harm's way. I mean, he's increasing his risk of getting in trouble where he is. But he's following a woman. And those are the people who, you scratch your head. And you say, look, man, you already know. We've already told you. Hell, if I advised him, I said, hell, move to the polar. You would be safer there. Yeah, he says, if I had to take my chances, I'm choosing Southeast Asia 10 times out of 10 over anywhere in the world. Kenya will be up there too. I've been to Mombasa, Kenya, but I think you said something back here. He said something about, he said, for a black American male, anywhere on planet Earth is likely more safer than the United States. Even Colombia, though I wouldn't recommend going there nowadays. Yeah, I mean, this is just, we've got so many years of history. It's never been safe for black people there. So, that's just a fact. It's just never been safe, even to this day. We've got so many factors going against us, man. He said, Cal, I got a recent medical diagnosis, but I still think I'll be able to visit soon. See how it goes, stay longer if it works out. Hey, thank you. Yeah, see, this is what I'll be talking about. Well, we don't know how much time we got, Eventually, what's going to happen, we're born, okay, we get older, we get sick, and we die. We have to go while the going is good. Yeah, I hope he does too. Yo, Filipinos are very superstitious. They know that it's coming back on them. They don't bother you, man. These are some of the most hospitable people that I've ever met, man. They just are, man. He said, Cal, what's your take on Elon Musk moving one of his headquarters to build some type of power grid to help Philippines? Well, it's always going to be, he ain't going to help the Philippines, man. It's always some type of predatory thing. Those people like that are never going to help anybody. Okay? And until it's done, then it's just, we're just going to sit here and talk about it. I love the child. But don't think that that's ever going to benefit anybody but him. Okay? Like I said, we've got people on Earth who are capable enough to make this place safer, not the Philippines, the world, a safer, better place for everybody. They just won't do it. There's too much greed involved. My take is it's more greed. That's what my take is. Hey, thank you, Flow Style. The world could be so much better than it is. You want to stop that shit over there in the Middle East, then treat people fairly. Okay? Stop treating them like they less than. Stop oppressing the people. Give them equal rights, and there will be no Hezbollah. There will be no Hamas. There will be no need for all of that. See? That's how you stop that shit over there. That's never on the table. It's always some bullshit bombs or something like that, making them people have to be the bad guys. They just regular people. They want the same thing out of life that we want, but it's never on the table. Treat them people fairly over there. Okay? Is that too much to ask? Yeah, for them devils. It's too much to ask. I don't know how you going to stop fighting over there. Treat them fairly. Give them human rights, civil rights, and every other right that they're entitled to. Get your foot out their goddamn neck. Okay? You stolen all their land, and then you don't expect them to fight back. The only reason Hezbollah even exists is because you occupied southern Lebanon, you cocksuckers. I know history. It matters to me. You're the same people that committed the Holocaust during World War II. I said it because it's true. It's the same Europeans. They're right over there. You go to Europe. Have you ever been to Europe? You see how close these countries are? When we went to Italy, I had a good friend of mine. He went to Switzerland. I'm like, dude, you think you can go to Switzerland, Cal? He said, it's just up the street. It's not far. While we were in Naples, Italy, he went to Switzerland, went skiing or something, whatever they do in Switzerland. But we can easily make this world a better place for everybody. There should be no starvation. Motherfuckers are getting bored, like that little guy said. They got all the money. They've done everything. They've been everywhere. Now they just want to control us and make our lives miserable. It's like a game to them. He said, hey, Calvin, I love your videos. Your wisdom goes underappreciated. Keep being real and honest and always help out when you can. Yeah, we need more men like you in this world. Much love. Hey, thank you, man. I tell people all the time, when I stopped drinking and when I checked myself into the detox, I had nothing. People came out of the woodwork to help me. Once I decided to get my life together, I never forget that. I hope I never forget it. I'm just giving back. Well, it ain't the locals, but it's a bunch of people down there who know history, Q. He said maybe the locals down in southern Mindanao haven't forgot about America colonizing the Philippines or the Spanish. Okay, he said, so maybe they felt some way when Elliot converted to Islam to marry their woman. Maybe they did. Maybe he did. This is what a friend of mine who stayed in the guest house. He's from Iran, but he lives in the Netherlands. Not the Netherlands. He lives in what's that place where a lot of people come over here in the Philippines. Well, anyway, he lives there now. He moved there when he was 14, but he's Muslim. And that's what he said. He went to see a young lady down in Mindanao, and she was too young for him. The family said it's okay, but he said, no, they'll never let me bring her home. But he said, Cal, the problem with Elliot Eastman was those men down there are very jealous. He said they feel, in those Muslim compounds, that the women are there for them. They don't want an outsider coming there. That's culture. You got to understand that. Why would you step in that without knowing? But we're Americans. We're arrogant. We think we can go anywhere and act any kind of way we want. We can't do that. You got to do your due diligence. If a woman says she lives anywhere, you should stop and think, let me research this. Or let me ask somebody. No, we big and bad. We just get on the plane and step right in there. That is a fact. But some people haven't forgotten because they had whole kingdoms down in Mindanao that when the Spanish came and cut it and split all that stuff up, okay, and gave away a lot of that stuff, they stole it and then gave it away, and they say, yeah, we want ours back. But yeah, history plays a big part in a lot of what's going on. But not if not only don't we know history, we don't care. We're too distracted by stupid shit. The dating sites, the NFL draft, the Super Bowl, now it's the NBA. The other day it was the Kentucky Derby, the NBA, the Michael Jackson movie. Meanwhile, life is passing your ass by. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But all of that's closed. But we don't know because we don't travel, Roger, so the media can tell us anything. Netanyahu's family's from Poland. Okay? The equivalent, okay, what is Marco Rubio over here? What is he? What's Secretary of State, right? Well, that Secretary of State in Israel is from London. It's all that same old white supremacy stuff. Okay? That old empire stuff. It's easily that they could stop that over there. He said Trump has already paused Project Freedom approximately less than 48 hours after kicking it off. Why, if it was only a defensive operation? They just saying anything. The propaganda is maddening. No, I just said that when I first came on. It's insider trading. Is what it is. Okay, did you know this? And you can easily look this up. This is a fact. A $720 million short bet was made against oil 15 minutes before Trump announced Project Freedom. Okay, now less than 48 hours, he pauses it. But he says because he declared great progress. So he paused it. Oil went down. Okay, those people made a lot of money off that. But then the White House did not immediately reply to a request for comment on what progress had been made. Like you said, they just saying anything. Or how long the pause would be, guys. But they know that American citizens, we're some of the dumbest people on the earth. We're going to let this man just stand up there and say whatever he wants to say. Project Freedom. Do you really think that that was going to work? He knew it wasn't going to work, but he knows his words are powerful. All he has to do is say it, and the market goes up or down based on what he says. But let me tell y'all something who are out there bragging about the stock market. That's not the economy. So y'all want to brag about that? Oh, look how high the stock market is. Okay. That has nothing to do with the economy. But he's just saying anything. That's all. Yeah, celebrity nonsense. I was just thinking this out of the chime. He said it's celebrity nonsense. It's like, you know, this lawsuit that's going on. I forgot the name of these two actors. It's an actor and an actress. I'm like, who gives a damn? Why is this on the front page? Nobody gives a damn. Lady, I'm trying to pay my bills and make ends meet. Gasoline is going sky high. You know, I don't have no health care. I don't have any daycare. And they got some, you know, lawsuit going on. You know, sort of like yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is it. Like, get the fuck out of here. But this is the type of stuff we put up with in America. I was talking to my buddy Eric Terry last night. Y'all don't know how crazy it is over there. You got to leave from America. I've been gone for almost 8 years. You got to be on the outside and looking in and seeing how crazy it is over there. You can't see it because you can't see the forest for the trees. When I'm in that shit, I couldn't see it. Man, it's crazy over there. Guess what? America's operating. There's no rule of law over there. Okay, all the shit that's going on is right in your face. We have no Congress. The Congress is spanless. We got a dictator there right now. Trump can do whatever he wants to do over there. Okay? The cowards, just like Hitler was able to do, nobody stopped him until look what NATO's doing. Look at all our allies. They're getting ready to go against Trump. They're going to do him the same way they did Hitler. That's the only thing that took Hitler out of power. They all got together and said, no, enough is enough of this sorry bastard. Yeah, this foolishness here. Give a damn about that. Yeah, bullshit to the 10th degree. Yeah, but see, you don't know about, the market manipulation, the insider trading. This guy's not at the top like that. He doesn't know. You know, inside information means, look, these people's in the same room with Trump. Okay, the people who are giving out that information to whoever is placing them big ass bets. That's inside information. The sergeant who was in on the raid to go to get Maduro was in there. He knew the raid was coming. He placed the bet. That's insider trading. What y'all doing is luck. You ain't betting no 720 million. Yeah, because I'm telling you guys, y'all don't know how crazy it is over there right now. Y'all just don't know how, because you're right over there stewing in it. It's crazy over there. When there's no rule of law, he's got the Supreme Court in his back pocket. The DOJ, guys, listen to me. It's supposed to be separate from the president for checks and balances. He's got that in his back pocket. We've got a dictator over there. Y'all just afraid to say it. I'm not. Trump is a dictator. He can do whatever he wants to do, and he's showing you that's what he's doing. People laugh at Trump when he says, yeah, I want to be known as one of the most powerful people that's ever lived. Right now, he is. Because nobody's stopping him. Nobody's getting in his way. Whatever he wants to do, he's doing it. Corruption is so bad, man. It's right there. It is another. I knew it, man. I knew it. I had an inkling. Follow your spirit, man. Follow your gut. I left in 2018. They're talking about one of the crazy talking points, and like I said, I can't listen to it really. It's a nuclear Iran. Fool, Trump is more responsible for getting Iran closer to a nuclear weapon than anybody. Well, why don't y'all just say that out loud? He tore up the agreement that Obama came up with. Took them years and years to do. It's going to take them years and years to come up with another agreement. 3.67%. Now it's 60%. Well, I'm on its way to weapons grade. Okay? And by him going to war with Iran, he's all but guaranteed that they're going to get a nuclear weapon. Yeah, we don't even know it. He says you have to trade the stocks that are not directly. What's he say? He said you have to trade the stocks that are not really affected by the war. It is gambling. I've seen so many people lose, man, their fortune. There was a lady, and that worked with me at a WellCare. Okay, as a as a Medicare representative, right? Now her parents died and basically left her a fortune. They left her so much money. She was in her mid-50s that she was able to retire. Don't you know she started day trading and lost everything and had to come back to work? And she was miserable every day and was not good at what she did. Okay, and they eventually fired her. Okay. Day trading, man, it's not so simple. Okay. Well, they didn't take our money. That was their money. That was their money that Obama gave them. That was their money anyway that we had frozen. He gave them $6 billion, but they did. No, they agreed to that. They only had 3.67% of refined uranium at that time. Now it's 60%. From 2018, he had no reason to tear that up. We know now, because it's never about Iran having a nuclear weapon. They want to destroy Iran, but they picked the wrong country. This is how ignorant we are and how arrogant we are as Americans. These people will fight to the last man. You're not going to destroy them. It's going to take more than a bunch of 5,000-pound bombs and stuff. They would survive a nuclear weapon. It's 92 million people. You see, when they drop the nuke, well, of course, the nuclear weapons today are much more powerful, but that would only make matters worse. You're going to try to stop them from having a nuclear weapon, and you're threatening to drop one on them. Meanwhile, we're the only country to ever drop nuclear weapons on other human beings. Let that make sense to you guys. But we got the nerve to tell somebody else. Well, guess what? They said the same thing about North Korea. We can't let them get a nuclear weapon. They got it. Pakistan. We can't let them get a nuclear weapon. They got it. Remember, Pakistan has never really been our friend. Remember, they were hiding bin Laden for all those years. Okay? The man is right now, he's one of the most powerful people that's ever lived. I've never, in my lifetime, I've ever seen somebody with so much power. People are afraid of him. Okay? It shows you how cowardly our leaders are over there. Okay? Man, come on, we don't want to talk about this stuff, man. Biden's not in office right now. Trump fucked up the COVID too, if you want to talk about that. We talk about, he didn't take it serious. Okay, we don't want to hear that stuff, man. We don't want to hear that stuff. That's why I left. Okay, don't complain unless you're gonna do something about it. Don't be stewing in it over there, and you ain't doing nothing about it. But anyway, let's talk about how safe it is over here. Has anybody here watching right now that's been to the Philippines or is living in the Philippines right now, have you ever been robbed? Has your house ever been broken into? Have you ever been caught in one of these natural disasters? I have. I've been in a natural disaster. No one's robbed me. No one's pickpocketed me. None of that. No one's burglarized my house. So just based on my personal experiences, it's safe over here. But I want to know, has anybody ever, well, they ain't building nukes, they already got them. But Israel's got nukes, man. I mean, so why is it okay for Israel to have nukes? Okay, they're not even a part of the non-proliferation agreement that all the other nuclear countries are part of. So they won't even allow inspectors to come to Israel to inspect their nuclear, weaponry and their nuclear program. That should be a reason to stop funding them right then and there. Yeah, this is the type of stuff that only Trump can get away with because they don't have no trouble. A nuclear weapon today is a deterrent. But that's the type of stuff that they figure if they keep telling a lie over and over and over. Remember, they went in for regime change. If y'all, it's only been 60 days, surely you can remember that. Because back last June, they supposed to obliterate it. Iran's nuclear program, remember? Yeah, they won't disclose how many they've got because they're not a part of the non-proliferation agreement. So they don't have to allow people to come in. And guess what? They stole our nuclear secrets. That's how they were able to develop the bomb over there. But y'all, it don't matter to y'all. Facts don't matter. It's all about feelings. It's all about emotion over there. Meanwhile, y'all paying, it's already damn near approaching $7 a gallon. It's going to keep going up over there. It always has and always has been. I got to hit this one too because he said Southeast Asia has a culture of respect. That's why it's safer. I have to agree with you. You don't see nobody sagging here with their pants down to their damn knees. I understand, hanging out on corners and shit. Yeah, but she's a local, okay? I don't know if he was robbed while he was there. She's considered a local. Okay, so you say one person's house got burglarized. I'm saying anybody on here, John. You're talking about somebody else. What's up, Thomas? Yeah, you're right. I have. Hmm. And the women over here, there's only robbing that's going on. These women, they're robbing us blind. If I left right now, I'd leave with nothing. Only what I got in the bank and what I got on my back. But my videos are to make you pause, to think. Because all we do is follow the followers over here. We see these men over here with these attractive younger women, and that's all you want. You just want an attractive young woman. So you going full speed ahead. You don't even understand the dynamics involved. It's probably going to cost you, if not everything, damn near everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they respect the elders over here, man. Okay, you don't believe me? Um, get on a bus one time and ride the bus. And if they stop and an elderly person or even a woman or somebody who got baggage, they jump off the bus and grab the bags for the woman. Same when it's time for her to get off. They do all that kind of old timey stuff, man. You know, they'll still give a woman they see, an older person they see on the bus. Do they still do? Are they even doing that anymore in America? Yeah, the young people are just as tired as the old people over there. Yeah, they stole our nuclear secrets. That's how they were able to get the nuclear weapon. But yes, big time respect for elders over here. Remember, that's one of the reasons why that keeps crime down when you got a community bonding, when people look out for each other, that keeps that makes the overall neighborhood safer. Well, they're not foul to the men. What are you talking about? You've never been over here, so you can't push back. He said, Uncle, I got to push back slightly if it's a culture of respect. Have you seen the way Filipino women respect Filipino men over here? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about you. You're not from here. Okay? I'm telling you that you'll see it's like night and day. Okay? They're not talking back to these men over here and all the shit they do to you because they don't respect us. They think we weak, man. But if I tell you that, you're going to say, Cal, you lying. It's true, man. They're not afraid of you. Man, I was just talking to a guy the other day, a friend of mine down in Florida. And what he was telling me, I was like, look, because they think we're stupid. They think they're smarter than us. That we don't know nothing. Okay? That's a sign of disrespect. That my 62 years don't mean nothing. Okay? Bullshit. It does. But when you try to share information like that, you don't want it. I didn't say all. It's just what I'm talking about doesn't fit all. It's not supposed to fit every situation. Nothing fits every situation. I want you to pause. Okay, I want you want it to be like, a siren that goes off. What's that tell you? Something's going on. Either it's a fire, an ambulance is coming, the police. It's a warning. That's what my videos are for. A siren. And let you look around and be like, well, where's it coming from? What's going on? Y'all don't do it. Y'all don't even pause. It's full speed ahead, no brakes. Then when you crash, there's what the few vloggers that's doing it. Y'all stupid. Blaming another grown man for your problem. When everything that needs to be known about these relationships over here is out there. We got to keep saying it over and over for you people out there to say, well, why y'all keep talking about the same thing over and over? It's because we get new viewers every day. YouTube is not stagnant. It's not just stay there and that's it. There's new people steadily coming into the genre. And then some of you people just forget what you say. You remember, our attention span is getting shorter and shorter. You don't even know what you did yesterday. A lot of people don't know what they did yesterday. He said in Canada, in the USA, it's every man for himself. And I don't see that changing. People getting colder to each other. Yeah, that seemed like that happened overnight. Because, man, when I was growing up in the 60s and the 70s, man, it was totally different. It was like it is over here. If you needed a stick of butter, borrow a few dollars, go next door and ask Ann if she got, a couple of eggs till I go to the store. Today, you don't even know your neighbors over there. When I left the United States in 2018, I'd been living in that house for 3 years. I didn't know either neighbor on each side of me. Not enough to even go over there, because I'm going to tell you how petty we are in America. You know, when your grass connects, right, and they'll cut, instead of him, it's like a little strip that separated our yards. Fool just cut the whole strip. Now he'll cut only on his side. And I'm like, you sound stupid. So anytime I cut the grass, I cut the whole strip. It looks better. That's how petty we are over there. He said, I love the respect younger people give to their elders. Man, it's apparent over here. We've lost that. It's all about money over there. And material stuff. Remember, I didn't say it, the experts say it. You buying shit, proves your worth. That's what, that's how we prove our worth over there. By buying expensive stuff. Pretending. Yeah, all gas. Well, even American women respect us. We don't respect ourselves, and we don't demand respect. If you put up with it, of course she ain't gonna respect you. The first time a woman disrespects you, you're supposed to be gone. He said in the U.S., I never have someone address me as sir, and yet every store here in the Philippines I go into, every 7-Eleven, they say, yes, sir, as a level of respect and courtesy. It's like how I used to be growing up. Thank you. I'm Sir Calvin here. I told y'all, he just bearing witness to what I said. I receive a level of respect over here that I don't receive at home. Really, anywhere I've been. But over here in Southeast Asia, I've been to Thailand, I've been to Vietnam, I live in the Philippines. The people just leave you alone, man. They don't bother you. They respect you. Yeah, he said back in the day, in some places, the whole block would have your back. The neighbors used to be able to whoop you. Let that happen now. Yeah, he said, I was very busy counting my money yesterday. I'm very exhausted. These young people are just as tired as the old people. And they're like, I ain't giving up my seat. No, I wouldn't have blown the gasket because it happens worse. Man, what are you hearing, Rashad? I think the guy was basically, he was being respectful to the black Filipino for real. Even though I didn't agree, you can't blame the black Filipino. He didn't make a video about the man. He didn't create lies and slander the man and all of that. He just said, did he say he was lied to? Whatever he said, he didn't even say lie. He didn't use that harsh of a word. I wouldn't have blown the guy. I would love for my haters to treat me the way he treated the black Filipino. Man, where you been? These guys be going for the juggler. They bring my family into it, you know. Yeah, yeah, man. When I left America, I didn't know either side. I know the people on my left hand side, they were real religious. I think they were, I want to say, if they wasn't Jehovah's Witness, they probably were Seventh Day Adventists. They were real religious. And the right side, they were just weird as hell. They had these big ass dogs that lived, I'm talking about big German shepherds that lived inside in the house because they were so bad, you know, they couldn't uh, they couldn't let them roam out. They jumped the fence. He said facts about the grass cut. Yeah, it's weird, man. And these are the religious people I'm talking about. Instead of just cutting that strip of grass that separated our yard, he would just cut that half. And I'm like, okay, how weird is this? Never invited us over for a barbecue. Never even say, um, give me a chance to say, no, it's okay, I've already eaten. They won't even ask you. I'm talking about you can see the houses, you know, y'all saw the video when I went home. I showed y'all my old house I was living in. It even had a convertible in the driveway. And you see how close my neighbors were to me. I could look in their house if I was meddling. He said, Cal, we ate at a place next to New Star yesterday, and the food was delicious and not very expensive. It's quite a few of them little businesses. Well, it's like a mall that's a big, gigantic mall. I don't know the name of that mall that they recently opened right there. But there's another place there. It's called, I want to say, um, what's the name, Paul, of that uh, Filipino restaurant that next to where we eat at Cafe Racer? But they got one in Cebu. That might have been where you was eating, Thomas. But yeah, New Star is no joke. If you got that kind of money, he said Trump and the news media is lying to the American people, and the majority of people believe their lies are sad. Yeah, but more and more people are waking up. Okay, imagine if you believe the media. They're saying that 38% of Americans are behind that war. That's a cult because 62% are not. And they said now they're saying 72 or 76% are against, you know, the way the economy is right now. You're going to tell me the 28% that agree with the shit that's going on over there? But it's a cult. And when it's all said and done and Trump is gone, because if there is a rule of law over there, when the midterms come, imagine, look, guys, if you think I'm lying, Trump's approval rating right now is lower than Nixon's was when Nixon resigned. Okay? So if there's a rule of law over there and the midterms come and, you know, and the Democrats gain control of the House and the Senate, he should be, uh, you know, asked to resign. He should have so many um, criminal cases against him, so many investigations. That's why they're all lawyering up over there. Because all Trump's going to do is pardon him. That's why you got to get him to resign. Yeah, 38% is very low. Yeah, Lantown. They got one in Cebu, right near that New Star. No, they're going back further than that. They're going back in the 1800s. Yeah, I don't believe anything, but I know them numbers is low. That's all I know. Yeah, Lantown. That's it. That's it. That's what I thought. And it used to be now. The problem is with good restaurants here. a lot of times they'll change cooks because the Lantau in Dumaguete, I used to swear by it. It had the best Filipino food. I would always suggest to people, I say, look, if you're gonna try Filipino food for the first time, go to Lantau. Not anymore. They got a new cook, man. The good thing about Mawani over here, the reason their food is so good, they got the same cook for all the years I've been here. From the very first time I ate in Mawani to now, they've got the same cook. So they're, you know, the food is consistent. Yeah, that's the call right there. That 30 something percent. That Trump can't do no wrong no matter what. That cognizant, cognitive dissonance, where you can just show it. That's why we were watching last night, and Maryland's like, I can't take it. Cut the TV off, because the guy was, it was a black guy for Trump and a white guy for Trump, and they was steadily getting cut in half. They was like, look, that's a lie. You're lying. Everything they said was a lie. I guess if they say it loud enough and everything, it's supposed to be true. But Abby Phillips, she don't. That's her show. She don't play that. She say, no, that's a lie. But the media is just so messed up now. It's just pitiful. You can't believe anything. I see why people get their news from YouTube now. A lot of them, and Facebook. These independent journalists who aren't part of the mainstream media. Okay, Scott Jennings, right? It finally came out. Remember the other day he gets mad at that guy. He said, "Get your fucking hand out of my face," right? Come to find out, they pay him to be the antagonist on that show. How fake can it be? Like, dude, nothing's real over there anymore. Well, they've got a few that I can tolerate. Okay, but it's nothing like America. Now, if you go to Dumaguete, they got a place called the Hideout. Now, I want to say this is owned by foreigners. If I'm not mistaken, the guy, shout out to Jay, he took me the only time I've ever been. It's on the way to Valencia, right before you at the base, before you go up to Valencia. It's called the Hideout. And man, they got great pizza. That deep dish, Chicago style pizza. But no, not in the abundance. Now, I like yellow cab pizza. It's just too small, but the pizza's good because I like pizza where the crust. Man, I'm trying to think of the place, the last pizza place I ate in Chicago. Yeah, Hideout. Yeah, Hideout. And in Chicago, a friend of mine took me there because, he dropped me off in the hotel because I was flying out to come back here to the Philippines last April. Man, the pizza was so good. I'm trying to think of the name of that. But the pizza was so delicious. You're not going to find that over here because that style of pizza, they don't keep it in the oven long enough. The crust isn't crunchy enough. I'm in San Carlos City. I'm about 5 hours by bus north of Dumaguete, 2.5 hours east of Bacolod by bus through the mountains, about 3.5 hours from Cebu. I'm really in the middle of nowhere. He said Greenwich has good wings. If you want wings, man, really good wings, good chicken, believe it or not. What? I don't have the phone. Where is it? The phone is out there. No, here it is. You forgot? Yeah, I forgot. There. Believe it or not, the Pancake House. If you want good chicken, they got the best chicken in the Philippines, as far as I'm concerned. It's gonna take you 20 minutes though. It's like Excuse me. It's like they have to go out and catch the chicken and skin him and cook him. It takes a long time, but it's the best chicken you're gonna get in the Philippines. Yeah, I heard about this. Um, is this in Dumaguete? Yeah, he said there's more disinformation than real news as they push the agenda of the elite ruling class as we're just passing serving the kings. Yeah, it's true. I mean I can't. Well, I don't watch it. I just like because I like to see the debate. I like to see the lies being called out. It's a show. It's a circus, man. It's not even real news journalism anymore. Oh yeah, they got really good food in Vietnam. Yeah, SNR is good, but the problem is the crust. They don't leave it in the oven long enough. They've got a pretty decent piece over here called Pizarros, but I gotta bring it home and put it in my toaster to get the crust crunchy. Hey, what's up, Greg? Oh, okay, you talking about the one in Cebu. He said, honey, Old Bay wings is everything. Yeah, he said the rest of y'all outside the Baltimore era don't know what y'all missing. Y'all just catching up to Old Bay wings. Well, them wings that cost $30 in Louisville was Indies, and they got good wings. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can. You can make them at home. Like, okay, the best wings, really. I said, where Pancake House is really not. The best wings is when you put them in the air fryer. They cook them perfect every time. Okay, that's the best wings, really. But if you're gonna go out and pay, you want a two-piece, you go to the Pancake House. But if you really want wings, go buy them and save more and bring them and get you an air fryer. And now Merlin even cooks the fish in the air fryer, man. It's so good, man. It's so flaky. It's not all greasy, and Merlin's just now learning how to really cook shrimp the right way now. She was overcooking it for all these years, and all of a sudden, she was following a recipe on Facebook. And I came out there, and them things was puffy and white. I was like, that's how you cook shrimp. And she's been cooking them like that ever since. Like I said, I can tolerate the pizza here. I gotta be hungry because the crust is not crunchy enough for me. I'm trying to think of the name of that place. Um, well, I live there, but well, I'm stupid first of all. But I'm in St. Carl City. But you gotta realize something, Q. People look out for me here. They ain't gonna if they do something to me, they ain't gonna get away with it. You know. But I'm just so used to that. I need to stop. You're right. But until now, who's to say what's gonna happen? No one's ever bothered me. We're not here for all that stuff. You gotta understand, man. Just for you to say this, it shows me how crazy Americans are. I'm just a vlogger, guys. Who would want to do something to me? And why? Okay, stop and think about that for a minute. I should be able to give out my information, okay? Because who would want to do something to me? I'm 62, about to turn 63 this month. I'm retired. I mean, I'm not rich and all of that. Who wants to do something to me? It shows you how sick people are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the crust. It's the crust. Okay? You're right. It puts it all together. Because the last time when we came back from Vietnam, we stayed in uh, Manila for 2 days, and we got the SNR in Newport City. But you gotta put it in the oven, man. Otherwise, hey, he said, "You look good, Cal. What's your workout routine?" You still go to bicep. Well, my biceps are natural. Like I'm going to the gym today. I go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, but I walk every morning. And then, the best exercises really are the body weight exercises. But I go to the gym and lift heavy weights because the doctor told me to lift heavy weights when I was in the States. He says you get older, and plus it does boost your testosterone. So if you go in there, because like the last time I was in there, I was bench pressing. I had, it's 35 on each side. So it's 35 kilos. So 70 kilos plus the bar. That's almost my body weight. But I know I could do more, but I don't have a spotter. And I lift heavy weights. But I'm not to be a bodybuilder, but for fitness. And it works, man. I'll be coming home, I'll be ready to bust up something. He said the air fryer is a must. Yeah. I don't know who talked us into buying one, or I think somebody might have sent me that. I'm not for sure. I think Sam Champion sent me that. But I got a real grill out there. The OG Fred sent me. I'm talking about a real grill. And you talking about, man, when they grill pork chops, hot dogs, it's like being at home. Because these grills over here, they're different. They homemade, and you put real charcoal in this grill. Man, when you were there, did you eat the banh mi sandwiches, Thomas, in Vietnam? Man, I ain't gonna lie. It doesn't cost a lot to eat over there. Because that banh mi is a meal by itself. Yeah, shrimp cooks real fast. And this is what I was telling Maryland before. They're cooking until it's hard. But now she don't. I mean, it's so delicious, man. Because, the Philippines is, if you, somebody told me this when we went to Mexico. The very first time I went to Mexico, the guy he was like my FMO, he was like my upline. And I went with him and, a few more people. Well, anyway, I was like, man, I like a nice steak. He was like, look, when you're in a place like Mexico surrounded by water, you eat the seafood. He said, you saw them cows coming in here, how little they were. And I followed his advice. So over here, you can get steak now if you go to, like, if you're down in Zamboanga, they sell steak at the KCC grocery store. I mean, they sell T-bone steaks, man. But for the most part, you eat seafood. That's what the Philippines is known for. Look on my video today. You'll see, man, that lobster on there, that big one, that big tiger lobster. Maryland only paid 850 pesos for that. And then the other picture shows once she finished it, it was the most lobster meat I've ever eaten at one time. Yeah, one of the best restaurants probably in all the Philippines is, um, in my opinion, is the Morning Glory Grill in Lapu-Lapu. Okay. Shout out to Derek Q. He took me there. We had a meet and greet there before. Um, but the food is delicious there. That Morning Glory rice, there's everything on their menu. That's the only place I would give a 5-star for the food. I mean, it's perfectly cooked. All their drinks, they're not too sweet. They're just right. It's the best food. It's a Korean restaurant, but the food that they sell, you would like the menu. We always get the shrimp, man. It comes out and they got like 3 different sauces. That's so delicious, man. Try that place out. It's called the Morning Glory Grill. It's in Lapu Lapu. Yeah, I don't really, I wouldn't give it like a high. Like I said, if you're in Dumagetti, you go to the Hideout. It's good. It's owned by an American. That's good. That's legitimate pizza. The Yellow Cab is decent. Like I said, if you got a toaster oven at home, yeah, yeah, I know, but why would they do it, Q? I mean, I wouldn't put it past anybody. Yeah, I thought she did have it because she must have came in here and put it behind me. No, Maryland did because we put Booby on the timer. Trying to get them kids off them damn phones, man. But it's really too late. Now there's a place that 53 Shades Dark was telling me there's a pizza place in Lapu Lapu that's supposed to be real good. A foreigner owns it. Yeah, he said fried shrimp in the air fryer is a must. 390 degrees. Oh wow. I'm gonna try that. Oh yeah, it's back to normal now. He's saying we know normal is gonna be for 60. I'll be 63. He said it's true that drinking non-bottled water can make you sick. I've never been sick. Now I'm not talking about drinking out of the faucet. Don't do that over here. Okay. But we get water in these big blue containers. I guess they 10 or 12 liters for about 30 pesos each. But I buy my water from the store and the bottled water because you can tell the difference. But I've never gotten sick because the water that comes in those big containers is never cold unless you buy a pitcher and pour it in there and put it in the sink. I mean, in the refrigerator. But I've never gotten sick. Man, Vietnam, you talking about them crescent rolls? Everything we ate over there was good. We're going back next month. I'm probably going to stay longer than 2 weeks. I was going to wait until this damn war ended, but it don't look like it's going to end anytime soon, man. And the longer we wait, the higher it's going to be. Yeah, well, it's good to have a cooperative woman. Marilyn's smart. She's smart. She's just like um, you should be. You should be smart. If a woman is cooperating with you, you need to cooperate with them. It's really that simple. If I can have a cooperative woman that I can trust, why do we always got to throw the love in there? You never really know if somebody loves you or not. Your definition of love is going to be different than theirs anyway. But don't put it all on the woman. It's her behavior and her actions. Does it fit your description of love? If it does, or your definition of love, if it does, then keep it moving. I'm not going to sit around waiting all day, but I'm not going to fool myself either. Because the video I made today, I released today, is to make you pause, man. You guys are going full speed. No brakes. You're not pacing yourself. And you burn out eventually. I just want you to stop and think. Think it all the way through. This woman really love me. And does it really matter to you? If love is a business, what's your business plan? What are you trying to get out of the situation? That's what the whole business plan is. You don't want to overpay for the items that's going to take away from your profit and all that. We're just coming over here, man, following the followers, man. You want a young woman over, it's going to cost you some money. That's what it's all about. It's not about love. It's about money. That's all. You better have some money over here if you want to deal with these women. Okay, that's what they don't talk about. When you see these guys on these with these blogs and they got these young women, they never talk about the money they spend, and they show it to you sometimes by building these big ass houses and stuff like that, but they never tell you. They want you to think that the woman's there with them just because they're so attractive. Oh, they're so successful, they're so handsome. That's bullshit, man. I don't know. I don't know. But why come see, this is the thing. He said, can one convert to Islam in the Philippines and marry multiple wives? Okay. Why would you want to disrespect the culture of Islam or the religion of Islam just to have multiple wives? This is what gets people in trouble. Just because I don't follow any religion doesn't mean I'm going to disrespect anybody's religion. But be careful what you wish for. You guys think you can handle more than one woman? That's fantasy, man. Y'all watching too many movies, man. Can't watch no. Can't even be. You're gonna end up dying taking all that damn Viagra. So what you doing while one woman, what's the other one doing? Licking somebody's butthole or something? What is she doing? Watching with the camera? Are you one of them circus freaks with two dicks or whatever it is? What are you doing? Can't handle two young women over here, man. Stop it. He said, I'm bummed. I got to head back to the USA for a couple of weeks on the 17th. So you'll probably do the meet and greet in June as I'll miss it. Because I got to sell my house on the lake in the US in a 57 Chevy Bel Air. Now, we're going to be in, I want to try to do that meet and greet this month, Paul. But I don't think it'll be before the 17th. Yeah, see, the thing is, we could easily just show up somewhere. We don't have to tell people. If you go in there and say, oh, yeah, we're going to have a meet and greet, then they're going to try to, charge you this and that. All you got to do, really, this is what the people in Dumaguete do. Okay, they'll pick a place. Because they're bringing money, okay? Paul and those guys, they got big influence, man. You can say what you want about Old Dog New Tricks. He's got real followers. He's got real pull. If he has a meet and greet, 150 people are going to show up. And they just sell the venue. And they'll have more business than they've ever had. And so I picked up that from them. So I'll be trying to do that. So, a couple of places we've done that for. Morning Glory Grill, we sold that out. Cafe Engelberg in Lapu Lapu, we did it there. We sold that thing out twice. You try to give back to the locals. Because it used to be I was paying for my meet and greets. I'd pay for everything. The beer, everything. Until I got smart. I saw them. I was like, well, hell, it was him, Justin, the guy who's the scuba diver guy. And I think Old Dog New Trick. Every man has a story, Mark. I believe those are the ones that put it on. But whoever it was, every time they give a meet and greet, and you can ask Paul on here, he'll tell you it's sold out, no matter where you go. And that's how they roll, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless he's a circus freak, they have two heads. They got all kind of shit going on. But you don't want no two. Man, that's really a fantasy, guys. You can't handle two women. Hey, take care, John. I mean, really. Two attitudes, two tempos, and all that. You putting up with two people's bullshit, two people's lies, two people's emergencies. Jeffrey Tyler sent me an AI video today. Some guy said, I sent my Filipino girlfriend 80,000 pesos to get her mother out of the hospital or something. So you got to deal with that 2 times over here. Or 3. Yeah, you're going to go broke in twice as fast. Now, you know, you can go to the bar. I mean, they're going to be freaky because when I lived in Cebu, the guy was from Louisiana. He used to have 2 over there with him all the time. But they drink and probably use drugs. So, you know, you can do all those kind of shit when you hyped up off them drugs. But he ended up paying one time. The lady took 250,000 pesos from him. Because he was a teacher over in China and he moved to the Philippines. He used to go to the waterfront hotel all the time. He was a big poker player. And picked up one of them old women from one of them bars over there in Lahore, brought her home, and she took all his money. Got him drunk. Okay. And he was sick. And you talking about this is 2010. So you might as well say, what? That was what? 16 years ago. You might as well say what? 600,000 or 700,000 pesos now. She took 250,000. And of course, he went to the police. They didn't do nothing. Yeah, he said the last 2 meet and greets in Dumaguete had basically a line out the door. As one was at Sideways Resto Bar and the other one was Ground Zero. Yeah, see, I went to the one at Ground Zero. He said you get 2 to 4 YouTubers here and guys come out of woodwork traveling. Yeah, you know I'm not lying, Paul. I went to, now let me see, how many did I go to? I think I went to 2. Yeah, I went to 2. I went to the one at Ground Zero, and then they had one at that resort in Darwin, where Justice used to have his, you know, his scuba diving school. They be sold out, man. The people, you meet some of the greatest guys, man. That's why when people was like, oh, they don't like the people in Dumaguete, I'm like, dude, you looking at too much YouTube. Man, there's some great guys in Dumaguete. I mean, you ain't got to hang out with people, man. But the one where we were at the resort, the guy, he's a foreigner, man. He's big in everybody. He's got on a hat and, you know, like he's dressed up. And then I see him going from table to table. I'm wondering, like, well, what's he doing? And somebody came over there and was like, hey, man, get ready. This guy's giving you a story about his check not clearing the bank. And he finally got to our table. We already knew what he was going to say. I was like, dude, we ain't got no money to give you. He said there's some baddies on Philippine QP. Yeah, but be careful. He said, are you bored now as a family man? I'm really not. You know, some days you get bored, but there's so much to do. Like, I'm going to tell you something. I've got a book now. Let me show you. This one, man, this book is so good now. It's got so interesting. And see, I go to the gym. It's one thing that I noticed, this Rolling Stones book. It's autobiography. I'm really just now getting into it. I'm on page 85 now. But anyway, what amazes me is how fast they went from being broke bums. Remember, this is 62, 61, 62. Hell, by 63, they're already touring. They've already met the Beatles and everybody. You know, it was like this. You know, they were, they like Muddy Waters. They were just using that style and kind of, that's who they were listening to in Britain, in England. and they eventually, created a sound around it. But they became famous really quick. I guess it was the right time or something. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. All right. But I don't care where you live. If you don't have some type of routine, Daryl, you're gonna have bouts of boredom. But the weather here, if I'm feeling bored in here, I know what it is. I got to get outside. If you stay in here with all this old aircon and all that stuff, yeah. But it's so much to do, man. It's so much to do here, and it's fairly affordable. Where I live, what stops me from going to more places is I'm out in the middle of nowhere. The logistics. Hey, shut that door, Maryland. The Arizona. Um, See, I was going to take Marilyn to Boracay for her birthday. Her birthday is Friday. But when you think about it, even if we wanted to fly, we'd still have to go either to Cebu or Bacolod. And then if you're thinking about catching a bus, you catch the bus to Bacolod, then you catch the 45-minute ferry to Iloilo, then you catch the bus for 5 more hours to Cataclan, which is basically you're there. And then you catch the little 5-minute ferry to Baraka Island. It's just the logistics. Because even Bantayan Island, it's a beautiful place. Excuse me. Hell, I'd have to go from here to Escalante. That's about an hour and a half on the bus. Then catch a 2-hour ferry from Escalante to Tagbilaran, Cebu. And then catch 2 more buses to Hagnaya Port. Then catch the ferry 45 minutes to Bantayan Island. I mean, if I was by myself, I could do it. It wouldn't be a problem. He said, Justin Critter Hunt is having an American 4th of July party, but you have to buy tickets at the new resort. Oh, come on, man. That's not even a meet and greet. But I guarantee you there'll be a bunch of people there because he's popular. What's up, AC? He said, when we lived in Angeles City, our house was broken into. They didn't get anything because we don't keep cash in the house. We had other stuff of value, but it was obvious they were looking for money. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never had a problem here with that. Oh, no, man. I stopped that. I stopped May the 13th, man. By the way, next Wednesday, it'll be 28 years that I quit drinking and getting high and all that stuff, man. Yeah, them days is over for me. I don't miss that at all. Yeah, now this is something that you make up a great point right here. Okay. Usually this is where the people are targeted. I've known this for a long time. I'm glad you brought this up. He said, we lived in a gated subdivision with roving guards, and they still pulled it off. Our neighbors got taken for $500,000, but the PNP caught the people a few days later. They target you. They target people in these gated subdivisions because they know that's where the money is. And these guards aren't gonna do too much, man. They're not gonna risk their lives over 400 or 500 pesos a day. One of the last foreigners that got killed, he was in Bacolod in a nice gated community. They jumped the fence. They had already been targeting those houses in that community. They were in. They had a safe. He had a safe room built in his house. They were in the safe room. He heard them, moving around and stuff. He came out of the safe room and confronted them. They shot him in the stomach. He ended up dying, but the wife jumped out of the second-story second-story window, and of course, they didn't bother her. I forgot how much they got. Not enough for my life. Usually here, You don't want to confront them, guys. I'm telling you now, they're gonna kill you. Their thinking is, oh, like any other stupid ass criminal, he's gonna recognize me and turn me in. The police already know who's doing the crimes already. I've told y'all that before. That's what's so amazing about the police force here. Certainly in St. Carlos City, if my house was broken into, they would catch some people the next day because they know who's doing it. Everybody's not doing it. He said, "Congrats on your sobriety, Cal, man. Thank you. That's that's my greatest achievement, man. I mean, it is. Because I just thought I was gonna die getting high and drinking and being a damn fool. When people talk about losers on here, man, they don't know what a loser is for real. I was a loser. I had taken losing to a whole other level. But the guys that come over here aren't losers for real. Matter of fact, if you move out of your country, man, away from everything you know and love and start over, and you're able to do it and be successful, how can somebody call you a loser? Now, if you want to take all the information that we give you and throw it out the window when it comes to dealing with these women, that's the only risk that you run of losing everything. The odds of you, okay, you see, he's the only one on here that said he's had his house broken into. The odds of you losing your money any other kind of way is slim to none. It's only when you start dealing with these dating sites and these relationships, okay? I'm just saying, if you are worried about losing your money, then don't get too heavily involved in those two things. Pump the brakes, but we don't have any brakes. Yeah, that woman takes off her clothes, you dries a damn bone. You smell that little cheap ass perfume, you done, man. How do I know? Because it happened to me. You ain't no stronger than nobody else, man. You guys, I'm a red PO, black PO, and all that. You ain't gonna be nothing once that happens. I haven't met anybody that could defeat that. You on a damn you coming off monk mode and you running into a woman 22, 25, something like that, in perfect condition. Okay. Okay, it's just there, everything's perfect. Well, I think you can answer this question yourself. Uh, Obviously, America was not built for black folks, okay? Black excellence still intimidates people over there. Okay, certainly MAGA and people who follow Trump, you know, they want to talk about DEI and stuff, and then you look at the appointments he's made. Pete Hegseth, come on, man. They had a black 5-star general was in his spot before him. Okay, you didn't talk about a DEI. Okay, Rayshard. But yeah, I think you already know. But there's enough room there that where there's a will, there's a way. We just have to be twice as good. That's all. Look at Ty Simpson that went number 13 to the Los Angeles Rams. Even his coach was dumbfounded. But yet look at his track record in college. Only a starter for 1 year. And then you look at Shedeur Sanders' situation. He goes to the 5th round. It's all that over there, you can be in denial all you want. It's just true. Yeah, LOL, Cal said everything on is perfect. Yeah, you know it's telling the truth. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying though. Okay, and I may be wrong. I know he fired a 5-star general, a black guy, and they brought some man out of retirement, a 3-star, who wasn't even qualified to be the head of Joint Chiefs of Staff. But I think you know what I'm talking about. Pete Hegseth, I don't care what the qualifications is, he certainly is not qualified. Yes, Sean McVay's face was priceless. He's like, what in the world are y'all doing? But they choose him 13. He had a terrible season at Alabama. They pick him 13. I mean, it's the stuff you shake your head at and you say, well, ain't no sense in me arguing about it because they're going to deny it anyway. Oh, Cal, you always saying stuff like that. Not true. You think we're dealing with a fair playing field over there? Pete Hegseth just removed 2 black men and 2 women from the promotion list over there. But to say that you may not be the president, you may not, that's a fact. Even though they saw Barack Obama, okay, he's one out of how many? Out of how many years? Okay, don't say it's possible. With those odds, that's impossible. But can you be successful? Yeah. Can you earn a living, raise your family, and all that, and be, reasonably happy and successful? Yeah. But it's not a level playing field over there. It's never been. Okay? And anybody that tells you that it is, they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, 30 generals were fired by Trump. A man who he defines mediocrity. That's why they love him, because to them, he represents them. Look at his followers. Look at MAGA. Trump's their hero. But he's not one of them. He's just using them. Trump don't care nobody but himself. He failed his way to success. Not once, but twice we elected him president. That's a reflection of America. It's not a reflection of Trump. Trump is a reflection of America. America's not a reflection of Trump. No way in the world he's supposed to have been anywhere near the White House. We elected his ass twice, so yeah, no, you can answer that question yourself. Okay? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to answer this and keep going. Okay. Yeah, damn draft dodger, Frank. Foreign generals. Okay. Sending men and women to die over there. He don't know what he's doing. But anyway, he said, Cal, tell everyone that MJ was a GOAT. But you got to understand, here's what's so uneven about this GOAT situation. They're comparing primetime Jordan to the old LeBron. Man, with LeBron, man, y'all better put some respect on LeBron. I'm saying they were both great. But y'all better put some respect on LeBron. Okay? Go back and watch when he first came in the league. He was way ahead of Jordan. This man came right out of high school and never skipped a beat. See him for about his first 8 years. Man, there was no stopping LeBron James. Okay, and Jordan wasn't doing nothing until he got Pippen, who may be in the GOAT situation, who got to be in the GOAT conversation. Yeah. No, I already did. Paul gave me that MAGA hat and I burned it because I don't like what it stands for. I burned it. I wish I had it now. I would have burned it now. I would have burned it on camera now. But then when he gave it to me, because people are crazy, we're dealing with a cult. Now you talking about some sick people doing something to me, they probably would have. But right now, MAGA dead. MAGA's dead, man. Nobody respects MAGA anymore because they know Trump was full of shit. But yeah, how many did Jordan lose? Y'all ain't taking Jordan, man. It was a long time before Jordan. Imagine R68 DVR when Jordan came in the league in 1984. They didn't win his first championship in 1996. Come on, guys. Come on. What are you talking about? And then they built a Hall of Fame lineup around Jordan. Man, you take Pippen off that team, there is no championships, man. That's why I don't discuss this stuff. They both are great. But don't be putting Jordan at his prime versus LeBron now. I was watching a guy on Facebook. He was making a comparison. That's what I put under the comment. Like, dude, why do you got LeBron at 41, but you showing Jordan swaying through the air like this at 25? Put LeBron at 25 when he's catching them alley-oops from outer space that Dwayne Wade was throwing him. Man, y'all crazy, man. Y'all better put some respect on LeBron James. You know, that's all I'm saying. Put some respect on LeBron James. That's all. Yeah, I burned it. I burned it. It's on the video today. That's really the hat. What happened was, because I was going to keep it in my video library and then bring it out when I wanted to. But what I was thinking that I was filming it, but my camera wasn't on. By the time I figured out my camera wasn't on, it already burnt up. But Paul K gave me that. It was a real MAGA hat when it first came out. It wasn't one of them, you know, that's made, they making now. It had the American flag right here on the side. I mean, it was, you know, people were really proud of that. Make America great again. Now MAGA's dead, man. You know, they got some explaining to do. They're gonna need some debriefing. See, they all went hiding now. The only people you see pushing that MAGA shit are the ones on TV who are getting paid for it. The rest of them, you ain't gonna get no argument out of MAGA anymore. Okay? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that MAGA had. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They should have gave us a better choice. You know, that's bullshit anyway. The Philippines has had two women presidents. Britain's had Margaret Thatcher. You know, it's time for America to get ready for a woman president. I mean, ain't nothing, you know, hip to say. This is the type of excuses we use. That's why America's falling so far behind the rest of the world. I'm not saying she would have been a better president. She probably would have been. She couldn't have did no worse. But damn, where's the rule of law? Where's the transparency, man? We're running. We're the lawless country right now, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, MAGA's on life support, man. MAGA's done. They hiding now. They was bragging, walking around. When is the last time you seen them out doing one of these old marches and stuff? They look stupid now. You see, ain't no pushback on here for me. It used to be if I say MAGA, man, they come for me. They know. They quiet as a mouse. You can hear a pin drop. Well, my nephew used to say, a mouse pissing on cotton. It's so quiet. Yeah, Jordan had a man. Look how many people on that team that are in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Hey, thanks, Icy. Welcome. I mean, all the stuff, you know. The guy the other day, I said, look, man, he was found guilty of sexual abuse. That would be enough to get me canceled off of YouTube, let alone run for the presidency. And he's already got to pay the woman $34 million. He's trying to get around from paying the woman the $34 million in the civil case. But he said it himself. I'm rich. I'm famous. I can walk up and grab women by the pussy. And they won't do anything. They like it, he said. That's sexual abuse in anybody's language. When he owned the Miss USA, Miss Universe contest, oh, I can walk in and inspect the young ladies because I own. He said, because I own the franchise. And it's fun. It's fun sometimes to do that. You know how he talks. He's a freak. But hey, guys, I'm going to get out there. Yeah, he's a poor mouse. What's in there for lunch? Oh, adobo. But thank y'all, man, for all your support. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching all the videos over the years. Yeah, it's not easy, man. Y'all think it's easy. I put up with a lot of shit on YouTube, but it's fun to me. You know, Jeffrey Taylor said something the other day. He said, Cal, you've been on YouTube over he said, almost 6 years. You're still relevant. And that's amazing to me. You know. Yeah, he said, I'm on my way. The adobo here is good, too. Okay. He said, I was actually, now don't tell on yourself, Paul. We're going to come and get you arrested. He said, I was actually at January 6th in Washington, D.C., and Trump sold us out as America first. Yeah, but it's Israel first. It's not America first, because I'm going to tell you something. I said it before. I say it again. That's a good rallying cry. That's why he fooled y'all. Who doesn't want to be America first after putting us behind all those years on these forever wars and all this stuff? Yeah, America first is a great idea. But that doesn't mean the swamp elite fuckers, as they have set Mideast up as a coming corporation. Yeah. I mean, he's applauding. You got people on Fox applauding Trump for giving a contract, you know, a weapons contract to a company that his son is involved in. I mean, it's just crazy, man. But yeah, for me to still be on here after this many years, man, it's amazing to me. I'm going to keep going like I told you before. As long as I'm relevant, I keep going. As long as I be real, I know I can stay relevant because people aren't real, man. They're afraid to talk, to say what's really on their mind. So they'll sacrifice you in the process of doing that. Okay? I'm not going to do it. So yeah, you know, I catch hell sometimes. You know, people make videos and they slander me and all that stuff. It just goes to show you my popularity. Because when I had 1,000 subscribers, nobody was making videos about me. Nobody. Now everybody wants to put me in their title because they know they're going to get clicks and views about it. But yeah, guys, y'all take care. He said, "Proud Army service, sir. I can't and won't do it again." It's really a shame, man, when you think that all the lying is going on. Imagine being the parents of the servicemen and women who were killed. You know, Pete Hegseth talking about, yeah, they were in a fortified building. There was no fortification. People were running, but they were sitting ducks. They've been lying to y'all, to us, ever since the war started. Iran's kicking their ass over there in the Middle East, those bases. That's big money for these contractors. Because somebody was asking, are they going to rebuild them? You damn right they're going to rebuild them. That's billions and more dollars for these corrupt fuckers. You ain't going to get a dime of it. But people are going to get rich off war like they always do. Yeah. Put America first. When we finally get somebody in there, which it's not going to happen in my lifetime, we're bought and sold, guys, by the lobbyists, the powerful lobbyists, the corporations. But when somebody finally gets in there and puts America first for real, we'll become great again. We'll become great. We never was great. With all that old racism and hate and all that, America never was great, but we will become great. The guy, I'm going to say this before I get out here. This is why I like to watch these debates. The guy was bragging about, we only spent a certain amount of billions on the war so far. Well, the other side said, well, you take that same amount of money and you could fund free daycare for everybody in America for one month. See, that's what I'm talking about. Their priorities are fucked up. Whenever we get somebody in there who can really look at things the way they are, America will be great.